Okay, in today I'm going to create a trading bot based on tweets with Raydium. So basically, the idea of this bot is there is a uh, it's going to read data from Twitter and identify if a specific tweet has a token address, and if it does, then uh, what do we do then? Then we swap that token with Sol on Radium. So this is what uh, the Twitter bot is supposed to do, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I will do is create uh, a new folder, Twitter underscore bot. Let me do that. And let me open the new Twitter bot on my cursor. So let me go to documents and Twitter bot. Okay, so I'm opening my Twitter bot, and let's start coding. So this is going to be a Node.js Node.js project. So let me do npm init -y. So that's good, and I'm going to directly use JavaScript, not using TypeScript today. So what is the first thing we need to do? So the first thing, let's go back to a kind of like a drawing board. So the first thing you need to do is read data from Twitter, and then once we read data from Twitter, we need to identify if a specific tweet has a token address, and if it does, sorry, not that if it doesn't, if it does, then we swap the token for Sol on Radium. So some of the packages we are going to use, API for Twitter access, and we are going to how do we going to identify the token address? We can use an LLM to figure out the token address. That will be more complex. You can see if the token address is in the image that is on the Twitter and all that. But for now, we'll just do regex, simple regex, and do figure out if the token address exists. And then swapping on Radium, we're going to use the Sol Web3 package to do it. So first thing is read the data from Twitter. So to read the data from Twitter, the Twitter API is very limited. Let's see, very limited, which is not a good place. So it's not it's the amount of the amount of credits that we get from Twitter is laughable. Let's see, API levels and versions. Yeah, so for the free version, you can get 1500 posts for per month, maybe. Yeah, it should be per month, which is 1500 by 30 is like 50 a day, and if you need to poll once every minute, it's not going to be enough. So if you want to poll once every minute, 60 times an hour, 24 times a day, and 30 days, so you need to poll at least 43,000 times. So even the basic version, which is $100 per month, is not going to cut it. So you probably need a pro version, which is like ridiculous $5,000. So we're not going to use the Twitter API. I did some research on this before the video, and I found a decent API, a rapid API Twitter, which is a replacement. I think there you go. No, it's not the one. Twitter unofficial API. Yeah, Twitter API. So this is the one. I think this is a decent one. So here you can see it gives you, I think we are going to do scraping and searching about 1 million a month, which is decent. So we can, for 43,000, we can do at least 20 accounts every minute, which is a good enough amount. For 120 bucks, we can do 2 million. I mean, this is unofficial API, so it may be a little less reliable, but at least it will get the job done for now. So let me go back and create go to the playground. Yeah, let's see if I can get the tweets of user tweets. I think this is what we need. Let's look at a Node.js code. Username Elon Musk. Yeah, that is fine. Let's just test the endpoint. Okay. Let me go to do. Oh my. Now, yeah, unfortunately, my API key is exposed here, which I'm going to delete this API key after this video. But for now, let me just test this endpoint with this header. Nothing. Why? Let's do real Donald Trump. Doesn't look like teaser tweets, code snippet, user tweets. Yeah, that seems correct. Oh, yeah, the data seems to be there. I just it was all collapsed, so I didn't see it. Let's see. Looks. Let me go and test the endpoint, and yeah, there you go. It is there. Timeline. I think instructions. Oh my. Looks like it's all there actually. Let me just get this as a curl request. So let's go to curl. Yeah, and let me do actually let me just do it on Postman. Let me open Postman and let me create a new one. Let me create a new request, new HTTP request, and send this. And for authorization, let's see, I need to put a rapid API key. I think I can do it on headers. Let's see, rapid API key. I need to put my rapid API key. And I think the rapid API host is also needed. Rapid API host is equal to and let me just send this request. The reason I'm sending it here is so that it's easy to navigate the JSON. Yeah, here is the JSON. Incredibly long JSON actually. So if I go here, JSON lint, I think it's JSON lint, you can get some version of this JSON. It's a huge data. It's the raw data from Twitter, so you need to do some digging to figure out exactly what data is needed. But overall, we have it. We have the Twitter data. So let's go back to our code and so throughout this video I'm going to use ChatGPT for some of the questions, but let me go to Node.js for now and see how we can implement it. So let me just go here, go back to cursor, and let me just add twitter.js async function get tweets username and let's see. So if I go to, yeah, it already says get tweets Elon Musk. So let me just see what that does. So if I run node twitter.js, what does it say? Oh, cannot find module Axios, of course. npm install Axios. I need to do Axios install. Let's see, is it a module? It's not a module. Yeah, let me add type is equal to module. Using cursor is nice, it already gives you all the stuff. So let me just do node twitter.js. Yeah, it responded with the result. So this is perfect. This is what we need. Let me just add a server.js file, server.js, and make an express server so that we can hit this from a specific endpoint. How do we make an express server? So yeah, this is where ChatGPT will be very helpful. I mean, I can write the code from scratch, but let me just ask ChatGPT, give me a basic express server code for my main.js file. There you go. Let's see. Here you go. So I am going to use express. Yeah, import. Let's see. And in package.json file, let me add start node server.js npm start. What is happening? Cannot find express, of course. npm install express. npm start. There you go. It's running on localhost 3000. So I'm going to make this full screen so that I can go back and forth. Let's see. Hello world. Yes, there you go. looks like it's working. And now I'm going to have the server get const tweets is equal to get tweets Elon Musk. Let's see, import get tweets from twitter.js, and get tweets is an async function. Yeah, it has to be, so I need to await it and make this an async function. Res.send tweets, yes. Oh, I need to, let me just do start is node server is fine. Dev, yeah, dev node bound server, it already knows what I want. This is crazy. npm run dev get tweets. Oh, it's not exported. Let me do export async function. There you go. Oh, it is running already, which we don't want it to run. Just running it for server is running here. So here, if I go, it didn't respond. Why didn't it respond? Tweets. There you go. Response data. Oh, there is nothing returning. Okay, got it. So looks like it's not returning anything. So return a response. If it succeeds, it returns response. Yeah, now it should show all the Twitter data. Isn't working. What happened? Rested object incoming message. Oh, got it. So response dot data is just got it. So I need to respond with response dot data, and then it would work, I think. Let me just do to comma tweets, because it's printing the whole response object. There you go. So we got all the tweets, the Twitter data. So if I go to x.com/Elon Musk, let me go and see if Elon Musk don't allow. Let's see, what is the first one? 15 hours ago. Maybe it's just me, but I think there is room for improvement here. Let's see where it is. So it's in full text, legacy, okay. So the tweet is inside full text legacy. This is good exercise to figure out where the data is. So legacy dot full underscore text. Where is legacy under? The legacy is further under edit controls. No, legacy is further under core. Looks like there is a legacies under result, under tweet result, under content. So this is content dot tweet result dot let's see, tweet result dot result, legacies under result, under tweet result, under content, under further content, okay, under entry. Okay, looks like this entry is actually entries here. Let me see. Tweet result is under content, so tweet result is under content, which is correct, which is under entry or entries, entry or entries, because here it's on I think this is the pinned entry. So let me go to Elon Musk. Yeah, looks like this is the pinned tweet. The pinned tweet is under entry, and the next ones must be on entries. Let me go check the entry or entries for a second, and the entry is further under instructions. Got it. Let's see, timeline response. Okay, so all the entries are as an array under instructions. So instructions array, which is under timeline response. Okay, data, user result, timeline response. Okay, let's do that. Data dot user result, user underscore result dot user result, timeline response, timeline response dot timeline. So this timeline has instructions and metadata, so we only need instructions. So timeline dot instructions, and this timeline dot instructions is an array, right? Looks like timeline dot instructions is an array. It has 3 items, or timeline pin entry and timeline add entries. This timeline cache can be ignored. I think these instructions need to be filtered. So this is what we have so far. Timeline dot, let's see how we still have more to go, but this is a good starting point. So let me just see what this gives. Does it give all the tweets? Yeah, timeline clear cache, timeline add entry, timeline pin entry, and timeline add entry. Yeah, I think it gives all the data. So let's see entries. So this has 23 items. So yeah, so totally there are this entry. Why does it have 3 items? Does it have 3 pins? No. Why does it have 23 items? Oh, look at that. So each one is 3 items. So most likely the entry has a signature of a tweet, which is there for every entry, every array value in the entries for timeline add entries. So let me instructions dot filter dot entry. Oh my god, it knows already. Entry where type name is, yes, so where filter where entry dot type name, right? Yeah, not entry. Yeah, this is let me just put some generic v dot timeline add type name is equal to timeline add entries, or what is it giving? V dot underscore underscore type name is equal to no timeline pin entry. Let's see, timeline pin entry. Oh, it's doing map and all that stuff. This is good. So we got the first one, but we can remove the cache and we can do pin entry and timeline add entries. But within that we only need entry and entries, right? So for pin entry we need an entry, and for timeline add entries we need entries. So what can we do here? Oh, why is it logging? Do you have a console log? Yeah, let me just remove this console log. So dot map v dot entry or v dot entries, right? I think that's it. So we got the instructions. We got timeline clear, timeline pin entry and timeline add entry, and within that we got entry or entries. So let's see what it does. This is the entry and this is the entries. Oh, so the problem here is the entries happens to be the entries is an array, the entry is one item, so we need to flatten it. Dot flat, let's do this, and now all tweet has 24 items. So we got the timeline pin entry and timeline add entry, right? I think so. Content. So the first one is the timeline pin entry and the second one is the timeline add entry. This timeline pin entry has content. Yeah, I think the rest is this. Now we got this array in the flat. Entries. Yes, we got that also as an array, and now we do dot map v dot content. Let's see, I hope content is there on every one of them. Yeah, content is there. Content.tweet result. Yeah, I think this is what it is. Content.tweet result. Yeah, content.tweet result dot full text. I think this is what it is. Let's see. Oh, doesn't exist. Oh, there are a couple of ones for which it doesn't exist. Should we look at them or should we move on? Yeah, I think we spent enough time digging into the JSON here. So I'm just going to move on. Looks like this is all the tweets that we got from Elon. So I'm satisfied with this. I think I can move on, and if you want to get more details and fine tune this API response, we can do it and get very accurate with this. But for now, I think this is a good enough start. So we got the tweets. and let me just do dot filter v such that we only get tweets which have value in it. So if it doesn't exist, then doesn't exist. Okay, so that's good. Oh, this is not good enough actually. We need also the timestamp. So yes, all these tweets are there, but we don't want to be getting all the tweets from whatever 2022 or whatever, right? So I have to get the timestamp also. So let's see where the timestamp is. So the timeline pin entry is the first one that we know. Entry ID content dot tweet result core is not it, edit control is not it, legacy has full text and created it. Yeah, there you go. So there is a created it as well along with the full text. So I'm going to add that research that. So I'm going to say the tweet is this, and the next one is created at is the same thing, but instead of full text it is created underscore at, I think created underscore at. Be such that we dot tweet. So I'm going to only display tweets that exist. Let's see what this does. Yeah, so we have the tweet and we have when the tweet was created, and we got them all. Okay, so yeah, this is a good starting point. So we got the tweets that we want, and now let me go back to what I had. Okay, let me go back to what I have. So let's let me, there you go. Read data from Twitter, which we did that. Identify if a specific tweet has a token address. If it does, then we swap the token with Sol on Raydium. So how do we get the token address on Raydium? So how do you identify if a specific tweet has a token address? So before we go into what do we do next? Identify if a specific tweet has a token address. Yeah, I think we can do that. Let's see. Give me regex to identify a token address of Solana, and let me go to pump.fun and get a token address. Let me close this. Here is an example token address. Okay, so let's get the token address. So Twitter, we got it, and now we get tokens.js, export function get token address tweet. Let's see, is that the correct one? Let's see. So address regex, it does, no, it does something else. regex is that's fine. Token Solana address regex is that. T.match T.test. Oh, this is just testing if it has it or not. I want to extract the token address. Give me code that can do it. There is the extract function. This code editor is new. I haven't seen this. I don't see the extract function. Oh yeah. There you go. Text.match. There you go. Text.match and yes, okay. Great. Let's this is the Twitter bot. So let me go back to my server and get let me just do this. Const sample tweet is equal to let's do this. Const token address is equal to, let me import token address, get token address, and then let me respond with token address. Let me, so yeah, just to give you an idea what I did was made a sample tweet. I extracted the token address and got the token address. Let's see. Site cannot be reached. Text is not defined. Where is text here? Oh, I think it's in the token address sample text. Oh yeah, tweet. We use the variable tweet, not text. There is no token address in that, which is correct. So let me go to a tweet that has going to Donald Trump's thing and address. Yeah, there's nothing here. Let me find a tweet that has a token address. Token address. Token address. Token. Yeah, there you go. There you go. This is a good token address. Last month. So let me just put sample tweet as this and see if you get the token address. And let's see if I get the token address. Why am I not getting the token address? Something wrong with the regex actually. It's not extracting token address from this tweet. Why? I think it's always exactly 44 characters. It's not 32 to 44. And it has keyfix /b word boundaries. Yeah, pump token address length. I think it's always 44 characters. No, is a Solana token address always 44 characters. Okay, it can be 32 44. Okay, that's fine. So let's just do the new, yeah, /b. Yeah, this seems like it because it has word separation on both sides. So let me just go and add that, and let's see. Now it should work. And there you go. So what if there are multiple token addresses on each in a tweet? Let's look at, yeah, we are getting them all. So that is, yeah, looks like we are able to generate a token address. So let's see if we can get the token address from this guy's tweet. So now we are going to get tweets of this guy who seem to have token address also. Actually, let me just get his tweets. Let's get his tweets first, and then we can do the token address. Oh, maybe just me, but last month of official. Let's see. Oh, it's not there in his. When did he create it? This was created February 12th, 3:38. This tweet is not there. Let's see, maybe it's just me. Are any of his tweets coming through? Rover C, right? It's Rover CRC. Rover CRC. What is his first tweet? This is the biggest Bitcoin trap ever. Oh, looks like these are still Elon Musk's tweets. Get tweets. Twitter, get tweets, username. Look at that. We are not using the username at all. It's always hard-coded to username of Elon Musk. Now let's see whether we got, yeah, these are the thing. Crypto last months of crypto stock last. So this is the biggest contract ever. Yeah, looks like we are getting his tweets, but we didn't get that specific tweet. Why would that be? I have a feeling that the full text, we also didn't get the entire full text. Actually, let me just remove this. Username is equal to username. Yeah, full text or colon. I just removed the full text in some cases. So let me just get all the tweets and see where this specific tweet is. Maybe it's in a different, because it's a long tweet, maybe it's in a different place. Not at all. This tweet is not there at all. I cannot believe this. Altcoins just getting started. Let me search for this. Altcoins are just getting started. Yeah, this is there in the full text. Why isn't this there? What is the Ethereum looks bullish? Last month of official. Let me see on his timeline if, yeah, even on his timeline this tweet doesn't appear. I don't know why that is. Yeah, looks like this Twitter tweet is not here in his timeline. I'm not sure why. It seems like a recent enough tweet. February 12th, 3:38. Maybe he tweets so much that the top 25 tweets, that doesn't even list in the top 25 tweets. Let me just get something else. Let's see if someone else did this token. Yeah, there you go. This guy's timeline shows this particular address. So let me just get his username, BTC667, BTC667. And then let's get this. Yeah, full text has it. Oh, look at that, the full text. This is the full text that we have been getting, and this is the text. Looks like this is what we need to get. Text. Where is this text? It's on entity set result. So I think this is both the same text. This is probably the longer version. Yeah, it's fine. Let's just keep it full text for now. This is a good example. So let me go back to the Twitter API and change the tweet. And then now let's see if we get all the tweets of this guy. Reading full text. It's not there. What am I? Reading created it, yes, of course. Legacy itself is not there for some entries. Again, to fine tune this, we need to do a lot of understanding how the API works. But for now, yeah, I'm getting all the tweets. Now I'm sending each tweet and getting the token address. So let me just go back to my server. So for const tweet of tweets, token address is equal to get token address tweet dot tweet. Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah, because it's in tweet, and then tweet dot token address is equal to token address, and then let's respond with tweets. Let's see. So here you go. So here this token address is there, so it comes up, and here there is no token address, so it doesn't come up. So this is a good example. So let me just add a little bit. If token address token address is equal to 0, yeah. So I will only add the token address if it is there. If token address, if the tweet has any tokens, we'll add it. Otherwise, we don't add it. Yeah, this is perfect. So we got the token address for every tweet, right? So this is the next step. I think we are at the second step now. Identify if a specific tweet has a token address. So there should be another step here. Filter tweets within the last 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever, and then we can do all of this. But I am omitting that step for now. Let's see, when was it created? March 20, Jan 27. This is too late. We have to be able to scoop it up within a minute or two to make any profit out of it, for it to be practical. But this will do for now. And if it does, then we swap the token with Sol on Raydium. So let's see what is the next step. So next one is to create a Raydium.js file and export async function swap token address, comma, I think it's saying amount, comma amount. Yeah, it's not. So now what is that? What is this function? Let me just add amount in Sol as the input. Const amount is equal to amount in Sol times lamports per Sol. Let's see, import lamports per Sol. So this is not going to work actually because Solana Web3 we didn't install it yet, but let's keep going. So I'm going to use Raydium, like I said, to find an input mint. So if let's see, Twitter, let me go back to the server. So now I need to add a condition, const tokens is equal to tweets.filter v.token address. So tweets with tokens, tweets with tokens. Let's see, and let me just respond with this. And what do we get on tweets with tokens? Yeah, just the one address. Let's say if tweets with token length is greater than 0, then we'll just take the tweet, the first tweet, and take the token address and swap 0.001 Sol. Yeah, this seems correct. What we need to do, so swap, but the swap will not exist, so I need to import swap here, import swap from Raydium.js, and let me just do this. Console log here, swapping, oh look at that, swapping so and so token address for so and so amount. Let's just run this and see if we get the console log. Yeah, we didn't get it because we didn't save. So yeah, swapping so and so pump for so and so Sol. So yes, so looks like it's all the structure is set up, and I'm going to remove this sample tweet. Actually, the token address here we need to add a second filter. It needs to have a token address, and the tweet should have been in the past 1 minute or whatever. So I'll just add a to do here. To do check if the tweet was created in the last 5 minutes, last 2 minutes actually. That is one criteria we need to do. For now I'm not going to do it because it's if token otherwise tokens with tweets. If there was no token with tweet, for example, let's say this guy has token. Let's say we have real Donald Trump, and the tokens with tweets will be empty, right? So nothing will, just response with nothing. Obviously this needs to be on a run on the background, so the get function is not going to work. We are going to do like a set interval every 30 seconds, 1 minute, whatever, right, to run it in the background. But for now we are just going to do the rest of it. So let's see, where are we right now? So read data from Twitter, which we did, identify a specific tweet has token address, which we did, then swap the token with the Sol on Raydium. So this is the last part. So swapping token address so and so for so and so amount in Sol. So for that you need a Raydium API. So let me go to Raydium and see trade API. Trade API. This looks more accurate. Swapping. This looks correct. This is not about API though. Trade API, yeah, there you go. Input mint, output mint. Okay. So you need to, yeah, so this is the documentation on how to create, how to swap token with the Trade API. So let me just get that. So for this to work, I need to install Raydium IO and Solana Web3.js. That's it, right? Yeah, and Solana special token. So I'm going to cancel it, npm install. There you go, I installed those things. Now let's see, I'm going to comment this out. The owner, we're going to fetch a new owner. So let's see. So for now, let me just go back to the server and just get the token address. Where is the token address? And let's just do a swap directly to see if it works. Once you go do the get request, we do swap. There you go. So let's just directly do a swap and see how it works. Okay, so let me just do swapping so and so for so and so Sol, no errors. So yeah, so we imported all the libraries. Found secret. So here, okay, so we need two things. So we need to create a wallet and we need to have an RPC, right? So let me just do the RPC part first. And there are a lot of free Solana RPCs. RPC, Solana RPC, QuickNode. Yeah, I think QuickNode provides a good RPC. There is public RPC. Yeah, here you go. This is something that is giving connection to the Solana mainnet. So we need to connect with that Sol. How is the new connection working? But anyway, so let me just do connection is equal to, let me just do the new connection, const connection is equal to, no it's not, devnet okay. So I'm going to do something slightly different here. So whenever I'm not going to want to go to this specific thing every time, so I'll just put the code outside. So connection is not different here, so that it directly what is the connection here? It looks like the connection is not there here. but connection is to be imported from, I think, Solana Web3 JS. Let me see. Once the RPC is connected, okay, we are going to get a quote, and once the quote is received, we're going to serialize. Once we serialize, we deserialize, and we can sign and execute. Okay, this seems like a okay. Sorry, I saw the clock was not changing, so I paused for a second to see if it was working. It is working. It just shows the minutes now, so the seconds is not changing. So yeah, connection, and so key pair. So let me just copy this whole thing. Let me just figure out the Solana connection first. So how do we make the connection? Let's see. What is missing in this code for creating a new Solana RPC connection? I think we need to import connection from Solana RP3.js. Yeah, there you go. New connection. Let's see. So it connected. Now, yeah, key pair.generate, that is fine. Key pair. So we created a new owner console.log owner.public key.toBase. Okay, let's see. Swapping address. Okay, that is the Solana address that we just created. Yeah, we just keep creating Solana addresses, which is fine. So yeah, we created the connection. How do I test if the connection is there? How do I test if connection is valid? Can you print the latest block? You can test the get latest block. Yeah, there you go. Get latest block. I just need the block number. Looks like it's printing the whole block hash, which we don't need. I'm just going to go get block height. Yeah, get block height is the one. Const block height is equal to await connection dot get block height console dot log connected to Solana at block height. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's go. Connect to Solana on address. Yeah. So we generated an address, which is fine. We have to keep this constant somehow with an environment variable in a little bit. But for now, this will do. Let me just create console.log owner.secretkey.toBase38. Okay, so this is the uint array of the thing, but I think to convert this to base 28, we need to import a different library. Import B58 from B58. There you go. BS there you go. So this is the private key of, as this is the private key, I just created it. Let me just add it on .env. Let me also add .git ignore. I don't think I added .env. file. So let me just go to private key and add this as a private key, and let me just go to the Raydium and say that owner is equal to from secret key. Yeah, this is perfect. So we are going to create a process.env key. Yeah, so console.owner.public key. So yes, this is looks correct. So expected string, I don't think it's printing the console.log private key. Let's see if it prints private key. Connected to private key is undefined, so yeah, it doesn't look like it's doing it. Oh, I need to import .env. Import, yeah, it knows already. .env .env.config. Let's see, I need to import. Let's see, is that enough? For .env is not existing, I think. Yeah, let me just install .env. There you go. So I installed .env and npm run dev. So 7c, yeah. So looks like we did connect to the same address. So server is running. We created a private key. We just created a private key, and we got the public address of that private key. This should not have any. We just created it, so it should not have any soul in it or anything. So let me just go to soul scan and see. Oh my god, this is bad. I'm a human, of course, you know it, and these guys don't. So let me go to soul. Yeah, so no transactions on it. So this is the private key for that specific public key, which I'm going to not use after this video, and I probably will send 0.001 soul to this private key and to this specific address just to finish the transaction. But yeah, this is how we do the next step. So basically we created a new wallet and we created a new connection. So the first step of this Solana Trade API is done. We have a new owner, and now we need to create we have to get a code. So the next one is to get a code. Let's see, this is a TypeScript code, so we are not using TypeScript. Import Axios from Axios, and let's see what do we have in data. So I'm going to identify Axios is already declared. Okay. Input mint is undefined, of course. So the input mint, what are we going to give? We are going to give soul actually, native underscore mint. So native mint is the native mint of soul. I think the native, oh yeah, there you go. Native mint is in the Solana special token. So native mint is what we are going to give as input, and output is the token address. Amount in soul is not what we are going to give. We need to give amount in lamports, and one soul is like 1 into 10 to the power of 9 lamports or something like that. So I'm going to give amount in soul as a lamport. Transaction version, let me just give it a 0. I don't know if it works. Lamports per soul is not defined. Yeah, lamports per soul is in which one? I think it's in this one. There you go. Yeah, I think it worked. Console log data lux. Let me just add. Oh, so to get a code, it says transaction error version v1. Oh, so maybe it's not v0, it's v1. Let me just put capital V. Looks like they have capital V. v1 is not defined. v0. small letters. Ah, no, of course not. It's not a variable. So capital slippage basis points. So slippage basis points is 200. I think this means that it's 0.2 slippage, which I guess is fine, which probably needs to be, yeah, transaction error. Let's see if it is V0 is allowed. There you go. So once I put V0 as a transaction ID, if you go through this doc somewhere, you should have the version, data, get code parameters. So anyway, so we got a quote for 20 basis points. Okay. Or slippage basis points is slippage times 100, yes. So it's 2% slippage. So slippage basis point is 2. I'm going to put 10% as slippage because let me just const slippage is equal to 10 and slippage times, let me just do slippage times 100. So we got the quote, and next one is serialize the quote. So let me copy the next one. Const data as, okay, data swap response. Let me just do data swap response. Do we use swap response anyway? Yeah, there you go. We use swap response here. His input sol wrap sol. His input sol is true. His input account, output account is the token address. So this token address is little bit confusing, which is there how many times. Let me just change it to output mint actually. So this is what we need as an output. Let me just change it to output mint. So this is a post request which is going to, this is the nature of the thing. Where is the API URLs? I think API URLs is coming from Raydium. This is just fine. Swap host API URLs should have it. Swap transactions, input account. What is the input account? It true means output mint receives sol. False means output means received. True. Yeah, I think it's fine to have true for both. Input account is native mint. Input account should be native mint, which is the native sol, and output account is the output mint. Let's console.log swap transactions. Let's see. Data is not defined. Where is data? Where is data used? 40 line 40. Oh, yeah, I think this is the swap response.data because this is the quote. Let's see. This is the swap response. Swap response.data dot default. Okay, so let's see where we get the fee. Let's see, define the swap type, fee. Setting priority fee. Yeah, let's see. There you go. I think this needs to be there first. Before we get the code, we need to get the code for the fee. So this is what they're calling as, let's say I call it as priority fee, and let's call it as priority fee. I this should work. Transaction version is not valid. Waiting for file changes. Oh, again we put a transaction version somewhere. Where did we put TX version? Oh, there you go. TX version is in the is V. What did you put transaction version here? V0. V0. Unknown error. We're getting some error from owner. Let's see, owner dot what do we have here? What are all the things that we set? So let me just log it actually before we send it. Before we send it, let me do console.log all the data that you are sending to. The output account is fine. Input account is, yeah, it is not fine. Okay, looks like the input account is a native Sol. It looks like an object, but this needs to be just the address actually. Yeah, 2 base 58. Yeah, there you go. I think that should work. Just when you have the input account as Sol, just the base address of the Sol, it should work. Let's to base 58. I think it's working. So swap. Oh, it's working, but something is wrong here. So let me just paste the swap response here. This is something that we are sending it as an input. Let's see, swap response has the data. Yeah, so the swap response has the data. So I'm not sure if I need to send it again. So let's just remove this and see if this works, because the input and output account, I don't know if you should send it again, because the swap response, there you go. I think this worked actually. This is the swap transaction. Looks like we successfully implemented a swap transaction, but it's not confirmed, it's not sent to the RPC and all that stuff. For that we need to sign it and do all that stuff. Then send compute, confirm transaction. That is the next step. How do we confirm the transaction? Yeah, this is the, there you go. So we created a swap transaction. Now we need to deserialize. So for this we need to do this and then sign and execute. So yeah, this is the next step. So for the next step, all transactions buffer is equal to swap transactions.data.map. All transactions, console log all transactions.length swap transactions. Is V0TX. Where is it? Is V0TX. Yeah, it's a V0 transaction, which is true. So I think I'll just remove the second half of it. If it's a V0 transaction, then you need to do this. So I'll just directly do this. Okay. Allow for transaction. One transactions and all the transactions. Yes. So we have all the transactions here, and then if for transactions, so the next one is to actually sign and execute. So here I think this may not work for now, because we don't have any any balance in that. Let's see if it's not a V0 transaction, we do this, which is fine. We don't do that. Then we go to for DXS version transaction. Because we're not using TypeScript, we cannot show this. Console log number one transaction is being confirmed. Connection.confirm transaction. I think this is it. So let's see if it will work. It may not work. Yeah, looks like that's it for let's IDX. There's only one transaction. What is the console log? Direction. So we're printing the block height. We are creating the transaction. We're going to see signature, subscribe, args, confirm, does not exist or not available. The method signature subscribe is not exist or not available. Signature subscribe, send transaction. First we find the transaction, get the transaction ID, and wait for the transaction to confirm. And then we say that the transaction is confirmed. So looks like this is a read-only RPC. It's not possible to send transactions through this RPC. We need to find a different RPC if that is the case. When I'm sending my transaction to Raydium using a public RPC, I'm getting this error. Why? It does not support website connection or signature subscribe method. Got it. So it looks like we need a WebSocket based public RPC, or we can just do a polling every 2 seconds to see if the transaction is confirmed. But let's see if the transaction was at least attempted. It was not even attempted because it had no soul in it, I think. Which part of it is? I think which part of this code is actually giving this error. I think it's the await connection part. Yeah, this confirm transaction is what is not being done. Not being able to be done because it's not a WebSocket connection. But if we get a public WebSocket connection, public WebSocket Solana connection. Let's see. Any public RPCs? Let's see if there are any public RPCs. Public Solana RPC. Let's see just the public RPC and see public RPC. There you go. Let's see if there has any WebSocket connection. There is nothing here. So yeah, do we need a WebSocket connection? Is WebSocket connection mandatory? Let's see if it is finalized. Does it work? It looks like it doesn't work. Commitment is finalized. Okay. Looks like if I remove the connection from communalized to confirmed, it might work. Let's see if that works. Oh my god. I'm getting the same error. Yeah, it's not working. No, WebSocket is not mandatory. By WebSocket, this will confirm without WebSocket connection the transaction ID. Where is the transaction ID? Transaction ID is equal to send transaction. Let's just look at. Let's just get the transaction ID actually. We get the transaction. We sign the transaction. Console.log transaction ID. Let's see npm run dev. This is the transaction ID. I think it never goes through because this is the account which has nothing. Let's see. What happened to the transaction ID? So we send this transaction. Looks like sending part is working, and we got the transaction ID also. And let's see, we got console.log latest valid block height. Yeah, we are getting the block, everything is done. The block hash, this is the one. Console log transaction sending. I think this also works. Yeah, one transaction sending, transaction ID is this, and then it's the confirmation that is not working. So the confirmation is not working because we don't, I think the transaction is failing, to be honest, because there's no soul in this. Yeah, but we are not able to see what the transaction is. So how can I get data on this transaction ID? Yeah, let me ask ChatGPT how my transaction is failing. How can I get data on this transaction using an RPC node? So here getting transaction is not going to be sending transaction is fine, but getting data for confirmation is not going to work. So that is why I need to have a different method, but irrespective of this transaction is failing. So if I send a few SOL to this specific address, it should work. Let me actually pause the video here, or maybe not. Let's see, what is the address? Let me just use my other computer here to send a few SOL to this uh, let me just send a few sol. Let me go to this account and send 0.01 sol. Recipient Solana address 0.01. It's about $1. Let's see. I think I sent 1 sol or 0.1 sol to this address, which I can see. Yes, there you go. I got 0.01 sol, and now let me send the transaction, and maybe it will work because it's 0.001. Let's see. I know we cannot get the confirmation of the transaction, but we should. Yeah, there you go. That worked. So if you go to that account, it's not appearing yet, but looks like the transaction went through. We swapped 0.001 sol to that Stonks token or whatever, and it should soon appear in our token. There you go. So 1 minute ago I sent 0.01 sol, and then used 0.001 of that to buy the Stonks token. We are not able to confirm this transaction using this method because it doesn't have a RPC, a WebSocket endpoint. But apart from that, everything else is done. So yeah, so looks like it's all working. Now let me go back to the server and finalize a small few things. So let me see. So now I'm not going to swap anymore whenever I save, so because the swap transaction is working. And now let me just do the back to my thing, tokens with tweets. Let's see. And let's see what this does. And let's me go back to the home page and see. Look at the tokens with tweets. There you go, tokens with tweets. If token, yeah, this should work now. So now we got all the tokens, and we filtered on tokens with tweets. We got the token address, and once we run it, it should swap. Amount in sol is so and so. Await swap. Token address dots 0001. Right. Amount in sol is, yeah, we got, yeah. Token address is the return for the tokens, the first token and token's address, and the amount per sol is 0.001. So let's do this. Now I saved it. Now I'm going back and running it. Once I run it, it should, yeah, it identified the first one as a token, and then it transacted it. So let's see. So we finished purchasing, and this is the transaction ID, and let me go to the transaction. It didn't work. You don't need RPCs anymore. The token address is this. Let me go to that specific address. Yeah, it didn't work. We are unfortunately not knowing why it's not working. We send the transaction, but it's still not working. But let me just try one more time. It could be that the RPC is loaded or whatever. So again, swapping, and let's see if this transaction is good enough, is going to be good enough. Yeah, it did work also. So I think there is not enough SOL in it. $0.011. I think the fee was 0.0001, 0.0005, 0.0002, 0.01. I think I finished up all the SOL, 0.001 and 0.005. I think there's not enough SOL in the account to do this transaction. So let me just add one more zero to it and see if this works. And let me just go back to the main thing. There you go. I think I found it. I found the transaction. I think it worked. There you go, it worked. So yeah, so it finally worked. I was able to obviously go to the thing, find the token address, and transact it. So if I were to go back to what we started with, let me go see. So here we read data from Twitter. We use Twitter API, and if identify if a specific tweet has a token address, and if it does have it, we swap the token for SOL on Raydium. So we did it end to end, and we are using a front end to do this. Someone has to click on it, but if I were to do this, I would probably do this differently. So I would set something like a set interval, and something like the whole function here is get tweets and swap. Let's say sync function get tweets and swap. So here I have a specific username. Let's just get username here, and so this specific function will get specific users tweets, and if it finds a token it swaps, right? And we just need to add a filter for the last minute, but set interval running script, let's say every 2 seconds. I think 30 seconds would work, something like that. So if you do something like this, it's going to run this every 2 seconds. So running script, it just says running script, but here we can just do get tweets and swap also along with it, where this specific get tweets and swap function, what it would do is check if there are any token addresses. If there is no token address, nothing happens. If it ends, the function finishes. But if there is a token address, it will do the swap also. It will do the same thing again in 2 seconds. So setting up something like this for every 30 seconds or something would and let it run in the background would do the job of finding token address in a tweet and buying it on Raydium. Okay, so that's all I have for today, and let me know what you have. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments.